Good morning and welcome back to Frugal Outdoors with myself, Dylan. And as you can tell, I'm out on the Seapro this morning. It's about 9:15 or so. There's not a whole bunch of water at the bottom of the ramp, but we got in and we're going out for a fish. So I'm hoping to head out to Christchurch Ledge today. I've got my radio on, I've got my kill cord on. I've got 3 rods with me today. I've got a spinning rod as well, and I've bought myself some new lures. So fingers crossed we can get into a couple of fish today. So I'm gonna get ourselves out onto the water. And then when we get out there, we'll have a little look around, see if we can't see any birds. If we can see some birds on the way, obviously we'll stop off. But if we can't, we're just gonna head straight out to Christchurch Ledge, which is a little bit of a trek. I did 15 miles last time out, and Christchurch Ledge is 18 miles there and back, as in 9 miles there, 9 miles back, 18 miles in total. So I've got a spare tank of fuel just in case, but I have to be honest, this engine sips fuel. I did 15 miles on just over 5 litres the other day, so really economical. That's the Parsons 15 horsepower 4-stroke engine from Bill High Marine. Right, let's get out there. So there we go, we're out of the harbour. We've got a pretty long trek now, quite a longish scene, probably about 40 minutes. I'm only going to cruise at around sort of 12 or 15 knots, but I'll definitely be keeping my eyes peeled for some gulls. Hopefully we can see some gulls working, and then we can try and get on some fish. Like I say, I've got some lures, I've got a spinning rod. It'd be lovely to get a bass today, but predominantly I just want to try and get some food, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Let's have a look. There we go, that's probably my favourite bream spot in the summer. You can get quite a few out there. If you do have to hit it at the right time, it can be really snaggy. But there we go, that's Fort Victoria. And then we're just going to come up now to Port Albert, which you can't really fish. I think you can get to it, but I've never have anyway. I think back in the day it used to be quite a good spot, quite a good venue, but not so much these days, unfortunately. Oh, cool, right, so I just had a little chat. We're literally right at the Needles, check this out. And they said the birds are working and I can see them on the other side. So I'm gonna head over there now and just have a go, see what happens, eh? I'm a little wet on the way over, definitely got a bit of a splash, and I made an extra seat. The back seat was a made seat by myself out of 18mm marine ply. And it was a little bumpy on the way, and I went straight through the middle of it. But so I'm on my knees again, but I've got a nice comfy mat down here now. But yeah, let's go and have a look, see if we can find these birds. I know it's very pretty and it's really cool to look at the needles, but I'm more excited. I suppose all I can do is chuck a lure on, chuck it in there, and just see if we can hit into something. Let's get a little bit closer. I have got some sabikis as well, but I think it's probably a bit too early for mackerel, but you never know. Anyway, let's quickly get over there and drift along with them and give it a go. So, as you can tell, it's pretty much at this point that I realised that I obviously made some sort of error with my sound recording devices and lost the entirety of the sound. As you can see, I've pulled up into the birds, got a couple of other guys on some boats, and I'm flicking a lure out. It's about a 43 gram, I think, so I wanted something quite heavy, try and get through some of the smaller fish on the top. I spoke to the guys on the boat here on the right hand side. They said that they'd only managed to catch some schoolie bass. I did get a couple of knocks, but unfortunately I didn't manage to get any proper takes. So after a little while I decided to move on right underneath the needles and try and flick a lure into there. Same deal here, I had a couple of bumps. I did change the lure to a black minnow, but unfortunately we didn't get any proper hits. I made the decision to put on my big boy pants and go all the way over to Christchurch ledge. So we had about half an hour steam from this point. So we finally got onto the mark at Christchurch. There was loads of boats there, so it filled me full of confidence and the hope that I might be able to catch a couple of bream. Just baiting a couple of little bits of squid onto my bream rig. Really quite a long trace, probably 3 foot snoods, just with a 4 ounce lead. And there we go, first bite, still baiting up the second rod, and that first rod just hoops over. Just using my spinning rod here. I thought it'd be a lot more fun just to use the spinning rod and my lighter of the 2 rods. But I was so stoked, man, to get into this fish. Look at that, stunning bream. They lose their colour so quick when they come out of the water, but they're amazing blue colour, and you'll see that a little bit later on. But lovely fish there. Had a little bit of a quiet lull, so I did bait up my 3rd rod and I up-tided that one to the left hand side of me. And lo and behold, it went. So all I fished with all day was little strips of squid. And there we are, picked up a couple of pout, double shot of pout I think on this one. So I was just up-tied in with a 5 ounce gripper lead, just a normal beach lead. There we go, into another bream. Look at the colours on this one, this is what I mean. Absolutely stunning, the blue markings on them. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Still trying to get through my packet of crisps. Now weirdly, all of the fish came to the left hand rod. Now I did have 2 different rigs on at that point. So I had one of my normal beach rigs on the right hand side, which has got relatively long snoods. But on that spinning rod I had really long snoods, and it massively made the difference. That was the first fish on the right hand side. can see there the much shorter snoods. Undersized that one, popped it straight back in. There we go, didn't even see that one, look, bouncing away. So as you can see, there's plenty of room on the back of this SIB. I was a bit gutted that I broke my seat, but it was alright. I'd kind of had enough. I'd been fishing on the mark for about an hour and a half. I had half a dozen bream, and I thought it was time to move a little bit closer to home, just so that when I eventually did decide to pack up, then I didn't have too far to go. So I shot all the way across the coast, back over to Hurst Castle, and dropped the anchor just on the other side of Hurst Point. Now it's much slower over here. Basically, I dropped an anchor right on a ledge. There's a big ledge there. I had fished here before, but I didn't manage to get any fish. But there we go. Managed to pick up a mackerel on bait. And delicious it tasted too. But this was probably the fish of the session for me. I was just baiting up. And then the rod hoops over. To be honest, I thought I was into a smooth hound. And there we go. Chuffed to get that one into the boat. That's the first bass in the boat, first mackerel in the boat, and first bream in the boat actually. But look at that, I was so chuffed. Properly made up with that one. Probably about £3 I would have thought. The biggest bream of the day was £2 too, and obviously we had that mackerel. Thought I'd try my luck for a little bit longer. You can see there that the wind started to pick up, surface of the water started to get a little bit choppy, so then I thought, do you know what, I've had some fish, it's time to head back into the harbour. And there we go, finally got some sound back. I do apologise that we lost the sound. I will double check next time I go out and make sure this doesn't happen again. Well, there we go. We're all in. That's the slip that I come up, and then obviously the car park is just behind me, so it's super easy access if anyone wants to use this. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows about it anyway who lives locally, but yeah, what a session, man. I am absolutely stoked. So my ambitions were to get out today and try and get a couple of fish, because I didn't achieve it last time, but yeah, we succeeded in that and some, so I'm absolutely stoked. Yeah, so we had 5 bream, I think 5 or 6 bream. 3 of them are donkey bream. They're really good fish. And then that bass, lucky bass. I mean, it was only on a bream rig, but we got it. And we got 1 mackerel, which I haven't told Daisy about yet. She's going to be absolutely chuffed to bits. So thanks again for joining me on this little journey. And yeah, fingers crossed we'll get out again. If you did enjoy it and you made it this far, you haven't already subscribed, then please do think about it, because sometimes we do actually get into a few fish. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to get these fish back and start prepping, because we've got a fish dinner for tonight. And until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and maybe I'll see you out there. Cheers.